folks from STEM. We have Milana Lewis and Sarah Wefald, who are going to be talking about and showing a new tool that just got announced. I just saw that there was an article released about an hour ago, so it's very brand new. It's in Rolling Stone. So we'll have Milana and Sarah present that in just a little bit. This is a little bit of an audible. I see Milana and Sarah back in the chat. Do the two of you want to maybe just get started, and that'll give us 20 minutes to get Rick teed up here? Here, let's get Sarah up onto the stage. And Milana, if you're ready to go, you can just hit that share audio video. Thanks for bearing with us. Hi, Sarah. How are you?
Doing good. How about you?
Good, good. Technology. I'll be ready to do in person again once we can, hopefully soon, but we'll see.
No, thanks, Ariana. I had a moment this morning where I was like, I've forgotten how to do my hair after a year.
It's all good. Hey, Milana, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you guys?
Good, good. So I saw the Rolling Stone article went up this morning, just like an hour ago. So excellent work. I'm excited to see and hear this newest product that you two are that your whole team is releasing.
Thank you. And we're definitely excited to share it with the whole Trusted Advisor membership crew.
Absolutely.
Thanks for giving us the opportunity. Matt, you're going to stay with us, right?
I will.
Awesome. So we have maybe we can start with just a couple of quick introductions to Sarah and myself. I'm Milana. I am the co-founder and CEO of STEM. Sarah, over to you.
Oh, yeah. I'm Sarah Wefald. I'm the Senior Product Manager at STEM.
And today we're excited to talk to you about a new product that we just announced that is launched and available to be used by all of our clients called Recoup Rules. Before I dive into talking exactly about what Recoup Rules is, which we're going to show you as well, I want to give those of you who don't know a little bit of an overview of what STEM is, what we do, what we're working on, and who we are. So we founded STEM about 6 years ago now, and we are a platform that combines the distribution tools with the payments tools. And our core clients are typically artists that are without a label or independent labels or managers who are performing the services of a label. And when we launched our distribution product, the thing that we brought to market was the ability to pay out multiple shareholders on the master side of a song automatically. And the purpose for doing that was because we realized that a lot of great music was being held up and not being able to get released, especially with independent artists, primarily because people couldn't guarantee a way for the songwriters and producers to get paid. And for me, that was crushing because the alternative was making the music available for free on SoundCloud or YouTube, which a number of bigger artists, like we saw Chance the Rapper, Childish Gambino with their early projects, making the music available for free and not monetizing it to simplify the ability so that they didn't have to take on the accounting burden. And so we launched STEM with splits, and the way we built it was on a consensus model. So if you're a songwriter or producer and you have a master share participation on a song, the artist or the label can add you as a shareholder. You get an invite to confirm your split, and then you get paid every single month, as well as have access to a dashboard where you could see very clearly how the song is performing and get paid directly as well. Now, as exciting as that was, we realized there was one big limitation. And that is that as we were working with more established artists, they have tons of costs to recoup, whether it's marketing costs, production costs, et cetera. And so what we would often see happening is that they would add themselves, or the party would add themselves as a 100% shareholder and then have to do all of that accounting offline until projects were recouped, at which point only then could they provide the STEM experience to their shareholders. And we were really bummed out about that. And so for the last couple of years, we have been talking to tons of business managers, lawyers, labels, and trying to understand, well, what are the most common types of deals that these new emerging artists or emerging labels are doing today? And we realized that a lot of them are doing more net profit share agreements. And so to launch Recoup, we decided to singularly focus on how do we facilitate some of the more simple type of deals and agreements so that, you know, the clients have the ability to automate the payouts from there. And so, you know, we looked at tons of tools, whether it was Counterpoint Systems or other ones that existed that were emerging, and they were really bulky. And while they're amazing tools for business managers and finance people to use, I'm sure most of you have experienced the situation where you take on a new client and you then have to dig through the weeds to clean up the mess because so much of the revenue hasn't been admin. And now you have to go and chase down what are all the expenses, who are all the people that need to get paid, what are all the splits. And so our purpose and intention with this product isn't to replace the business manager by any means. It is to streamline the workflows and the ability for the managers and artists to be somewhat more self-sufficient in capturing the information so that when it comes to you, you can do your job better and more simply, whether it's within the STEM product or it's outside of it and exporting the data to move towards another royalty accounting or GL system that you're already using. So we're excited to share this with you. We look very much to doing partnerships with each of you, getting real feedback, continuing to evolve this product so it's something that you all have the joy of using on behalf of your clients. And also you can recommend to clients who are maybe a little bit too early in their careers for you to take them on, but yet you still want to help them build up the right hygiene for managing their income. So with all of that said, Sarah, I'm going to kick it over to you to start showing off exactly what we built.
All right, thanks, Milana. All right, so I'm going to show you guys a prototype. What I'm showing you today is everything that we have in production right now. So if you're on STEM and you log in, you have access to the feature. Everything I'm going to show you is there now. I'm just using the prototype so we can go forward in time a little bit easier. So let me share my screen here. All right. So this is what you'll see when you log into STEM. You'll see a tab up here that says Recoup. This is where you'll access everything for the feature. And then everything here is what you'll see if you don't have rules set up already. So one thing that we also have is a Teams feature. So if I click up here on my avatar, I can see that in my account, I'm logged into my money records team, as well as all of my other clients here. So if you're working with a bunch of different clients who all use STEM, you can make sure that everyone is, all the information is kept where it's supposed to be. All right, so now we know we're in the right account and we're going to create our rules.
Yeah. Sarah, while you're clicking on that, I just want to call out a lot of business managers, when they're using STEM, we realize that they're oftentimes creating the account under their name or they're sharing passwords with the artist. So what Sarah showed off just now is showing you guys that you actually can create your own account under the artist account team and add in, if you have a bookkeeper that works for you that you want to give access to take on the work for you, but you still want to have your own login, you can add in various members and give them different permission settings as well. And we're more than happy if you email us at hello@stem.is. If you have a client that's already using it and you want to get configured the right way, we're more than happy to facilitate that as well.
Absolutely. Thank you, Milana. All right. So now we're configuring our first rule here. And the first question, of course, is how much do you need to recoup? So this is what you'll enter right here. So we're going to go with $10,000. That's because we know that for the release that we're setting up this rule for, that's what we know we've already spent. We're not necessarily going to put our entire budget here, just so that it helps people sort of keep on top of everything. It's also a lot easier to raise this number than it is to lower it for reasons I'll show you guys a little bit later. All right, so we've set our recoupable amount, and now we're going to add some releases to this. So these are releases at like the UPC level. Coming soon, we'll be able to support this on the track level as well, so stay tuned for that. But for right now, we're going to click here, and we're going to add our album. And then, for this particular project, we're also going to be recouping off of the single and then this single with a feature on it as well. And that's pretty much setting up the rule, right? So we can see here we've got the releases we need to recoup against. And then here as well, we're also seeing who the impacted shareholders are. So when these releases were uploaded into our system, all of the splits were set up in that process. So what you're seeing here is every single person, producers, artists, featured artists, you name it, who were named in the splits are all showed up here. And they're all going to be able to follow along with the recoupment progress as we go. So I'll show you that in a sec as well. So we've got this set up the way that we want, and now we're going to hit start. And now we just have to confirm a few things, right? So like the rules, like anything that I do here isn't really going to take effect until the start of the next month. That's because we're running on a monthly royalty cycle. And then next, it's saying that, you know, once we've reached that $10,000 number with the earnings, the rule's not going to automatically close. That's going to be able to give you the flexibility to say like, oh, you know what, actually we spent another $5,000 and we need to raise the amount, just so that you're in control the whole time. And then also acknowledging that your shareholders are going to be able to follow along. So we're going to acknowledge all those things and hit start. And now we're recouping. So we can look at some of the details. You're not going to be able to see a whole lot yet because we haven't gone through a royalty cycle, so we don't have new earnings to show you here. But this is just what it looks like in its nice empty state. You'll see some earnings here once we get there. And I guess this would be a good time to show you guys what it looks like from the shareholders side as well. So this is what your content looks like when you have a recoup rule in place. You have this tag telling you what releases you have that are recouping. And then if you click into it, there's also this recoup tab up here that shows you that same summary card that we saw on the other page. So, and this is also exactly what your shareholders are going to see, and they're going to see it in the exact same place in the app. The only difference is that they're not going to be able to edit the rule or view the details. This is what they'll be able to see. So they'll be able to follow along and see how progress is coming. So then, you know, nobody has to, you know, call and say like, hey, are we recouped yet? What's going on? They can see this all right here for them. They'll also be getting email notifications as well. Like when you start a rule, when you edit a rule, and they'll get summaries every month when there's more funds to be able to show them too. So everyone's being kept up to date all along the way. And with that, let's skip forward in time now and see what it actually looks like after we've got a month's worth of earnings in the rule. So you can see here, there's been about $3,200 worth of earnings against these 3 releases. So if we click in and view the details, now we'll be able to see that we're about a third of the way there. You know, about $6,800 left to go. And if we scroll down, we can also see, you know, split out amongst the 3 releases that we're recouping against in the rule, how that $3,200 kind of splits out. But then also, you know, let's say that you have something that you have some revenue that is not running through STEM right now that would affect the recoupment progress. You know, that could be sync licensing, that could be Bandcamp, that could be, I don't know, all kinds of stuff. So if you click this add other earnings button here, we can actually just add that in for you and represent it within your rule. So there are a couple nuances here, right? So like with the amount, like we're not going to let you add anything here that's going to make bring your recoupment total over your limit. That's because we don't actually have this money to distribute to everybody, right? Like you would have this money. So if we click again, then, you know, we're bringing it down a little bit. And we're saying that this is Bandcamp revenue for February and March. It's about $1,200. So if we hit add earnings here, now that's being represented in our earnings activity. And if we scroll back up here too, you'll see it's included in the total recouped total. And the recoupment balance has been lowered a little bit to reflect it. So that then, you know, at the end of this, you know, the rule will complete a little bit earlier because that extra earnings has been added in.
And to clarify what Sarah said, in this current iteration that we just launched, you can't add in earnings that go above the recoupable balance, but it's definitely one of the next things that we're going to launch is the ability to help facilitate for other earnings which we do not receive, and being able to have the account funded so that we can pay out, for example, if there are sync revenue streams that come through or Bandcamp revenue where you want us to apply the same splits to the projects that need to get paid out, and it goes down towards paying the balance as well. So that is one of the limitations at the moment, but it's definitely one we're going to solve for.
Yep, little roadmap preview there. All right, so now that we've seen a little bit of this, let's go forward in time a little bit more and see what it looks like once we've gotten some more money in here. All right, so now you can see we have some more rules. So this is what it looks like when you have more rules in place. So this is the one that we've been working on. You can see that we're actually we've gotten that $10,000 in the rule now, and now there's a little over $5,000 in reserve. So that's what I was talking about earlier, where it's like we're just sort of holding on to those earnings and not releasing them automatically because we're waiting for your say so. You can also see what that looks like up here too. Like we started this out, with little hopes, but then the track blew up. So, there's some action to take there. But let's stick with the rule that we've been going with. So let's view those details. And, this little notice is letting you know that, hey, we've got some money here. We need to know from you what you want to do with it. We have two options. We can either pay this out and close it, and then the reserve balance will get split out among all of the shareholders, or we can increase this. So let's say like we, just had a big campaign that we had to pay for. We had to pay for, PR and a billboard and stuff like that. So we want to increase this. And with the thing about how we were saying we're not like, we don't really let you lower this number right now. That's because this $10,000, we've already put this in your account. So can't let you lower this to 8 because, you have that money already. So if we are going to put this back up to 20. So now that's taken that money that was in the reserve and put it towards the recoupment balance. So now we're almost there, right? And we hit save changes. We just have to acknowledge all of those same things again. And your shareholders will get a notification as well that the amount's been edited. And now, we're still going. We'll wait for another royalty cycle or two to complete this out. So let's look at what it looks like though if we didn't increase the amount, we just wanted to close it out. So let's take a look at what that would be. All right, so instead of hitting that increase button, I'm going to go down here to payout and close. And before we process those final payouts, just want to make sure that you acknowledge a few things are about to happen. All of that reserve balance is going to be split out according to the splits for each of the affected releases. The shareholders are all going to be notified that the record has recouped and that for future royalty cycles, they can expect to see those earnings directly in their accounts. And that this rule is going to be closed and uneditable. So this is permanent. If, let's say in 6 months, there's, something on the album or the single gets a big sync behind it and you want to go back and have an additional spend to support it and, have another round of marketing, then you can create a new rule. It's just that you can't go back and edit this one. So we'll acknowledge all of that and process those final payouts and we're done. So this is what it looks like in its finished state. We've got, our complete circle. The background's a little bit different to let you know that, this is a little bit of a different rule. All of our edit buttons are gone. And we have this record here of all of the earnings during the time that the rule was in place. And if we go back up as well, I guess I'm not gonna be able to do that, but you'll be able to see also from the recoup tab that the rule is closed out. But you'll always be able to come here and see the history just for your own records. So that's where we're at right now. Should probably also, right before I throw this back to Milana, I should probably also point out that right now what we're supporting are scenarios where it's shared expenses that are coming off the top. So, with future releases, again, with like the roadmap preview, we're going to be able to support more complicated recoup scenarios with pass-through shareholders, producer agreements, and things like that. Yeah, Milana, back over to you.
Thank you, Sarah. So yeah, like Sarah said, this is just the beginning. This is the very first iteration of what we're going to market with. We're going to continue working and iterating and launching new features over the upcoming weeks and throughout the rest of the year. And if you're interested in trying this, if you're interested in being part of our product council and helping to sit with our product team to build even more tools into this, we welcome you. Please reach out to us. You can find me at milana@stem.is. And we're happy to facilitate and would love to work with you guys and your clients.
You make it look really simple, but there's so much going on there that just gets summarized so beautifully into that dashboard. It's amazing. What a tool. I mean, especially riding this kind of wave of transparency in this space that hasn't historically always been like that, and I think is still very much changing, but it's I think seeing how you're able to set up all of the relationships between the people and how managers are able to come in and, you know, obviously manage their artists, super clean. You do, yeah. You make it look way easy, but I imagine that was a big lift to get that done.
It's really interesting. You know, Sarah and I talk about this all the time, but in doing the discovery sessions, I think one thing we've learned is how inconsistent the calculations are done and how there really are various ways that even with the same language, it can be interpreted. So again, we distilled it down to what we think is the simplest that can serve enough needs of our current client base. And over time, we hope to make it more flexible and accommodate for more complexity, which we still hope to be able to accomplish with an interface that is designed simply or designed to look simply and not really, how do I say this, intimidating, where I feel like the clients that we serve oftentimes are clients who don't have in-house accounting teams, where the managers are still doing things in Google Sheets, not even Excel. And we hope to provide a better experience, not only for them, but really the goal of this tool is to give them the leverage to be able to collaborate and facilitate collaborations on behalf of their clients with more established songwriters, producers, and eliminate the friction of those collaborations by streamlining how everyone gets paid.
Exactly. Amazing. I would highly encourage anyone listening to definitely take Milana up on her offer and reach out to STEM. I've been amazed to just follow along since we've been in touch this year. You guys move amazingly fast also. It's great to see you iterate and be constantly pushing things out. So congratulations again. Thank you for showing this new tool today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for giving us the opportunity to, and look forward to doing more together.
Absolutely. Same here. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Milana. Thanks for also juggling the schedule a little bit. That's how we run these sometimes. All right. Thank you both.
Thanks. Have a great one.
Thanks. Thank you. You too. All right. And Rick, let's get you started now on risk clarity.